What's good, YouTube? It's Justice Says to Be Paid, and today I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the worst hip-hop social media page of all time. But before I get into that, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Do all those things. It helps me out a ton. I know that I post a lot of very serious content on this channel, but this video just isn't that. I'm going to be honest. I'm just making this video because I really want to complain about one specific hip-hop media page, and that's really it. But the online hip-hop space for social media is filled with a bunch of these pages that are extremely popular. Pages like a World Star Hip Hop, Rap TV, Kirko, these pages that get their engagement mostly by posting like breaking news in the rap scene, posting about these controversial events that happen, or just posting about music releases and release dates. That's typically how these types of pages get their engagement and popularity. Then there are other pages that are very popular as well within the online hip hop community, but they're a little different. They get a lot more hate. They get a lot more backlash because what they're posting in nature is typically just like engagement farming with controversy. Those pages like a No Jumper, Say Cheese, Rap House TV, even like the Shade Room, you could throw that in there. These pages that are posting oftentimes extremely controversial stuff to get people engaging with the content. And they're also posting stuff that tends to be a little misleading and maybe not telling the full story, but because the full story isn't as interesting and won't get people commenting as much. Those types of pages. But there's one page in particular that stands out above the rest as the absolute worst, and that is AkademiksTV. Now, I know it's easy to pile on to Akademiks right now, and I could probably sit here and hate on him for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and this video would probably do somewhat well just because a lot of people really don't like him. But the time for a commentary on DJ Akademiks is not now. Maybe it'll be down the line. But this is specifically about the page AkademiksTV, which is not ran by academics, at least from what we know at the moment. But it does operate under the media company of the Academy, which is Akademiks Media Company. And this page, if I'm being completely honest, is just a glorified propaganda pushing, narrative pushing, super biased Drake stan account that is disguised as a news/streamer page. What makes this page so much worse than any other like stan account, propaganda pushing narrative account online is the name that's attached to it, which is Akademiks. And whether you want to admit it or not, Akademiks has made a name for himself in the online rap space, specifically when it comes to breaking news. He's been the breaking news guy in rap for like 10, 12, 14 years now at this point. So he's become a somewhat reputable source, and his Instagram account has become a somewhat reputable source when it comes to breaking news in the rap space. People will legitimately go to his account for breaking news in the rap space. And this is me speaking specifically on his reputation when it comes to posting breaking news. I'm not talking about his opinions or his hot takes or anything to do with Akademiks as a personality, what he says on his live streams or anything of the sort. When it comes to breaking news, that is what I'm talking about. And that is where a lot of his credibility tends to lie, because whether you want to admit it or not, his IG page isn't wrong very often. It typically posts the news, and it typically posts what happened. Now, maybe there's some biases in what news he chooses to post sometimes and what he chooses not to post, but for the most part, the news is fairly accurate. So a lot of people will end up taking whatever comes from an Akademiks official page at face value. And that's the main issue with AkademiksTV. It has a level of credibility to it that is completely unwarranted because of the name Akademiks. AkademiksTV is a page quite literally created for glazing, for good and for bad. All AkademiksTV does is takes the things that Akademiks hates, or the people that he hates, and just hates on them to a like just ridiculous, absurd level for like the next 6 months. And then it takes the things that Akademiks likes and just glazes them for the next 6 months to an absolutely absurd level. And you would think that like that page is talking about a gift from God himself. Like if Akademiks tomorrow on his stream was like, you know what, I really don't like Steph Curry, F Steph Curry, and went on a rant about Steph Curry, AkademiksTV would be posting negative posts about Steph Curry for the next 6 years. Like they just take whatever feels about a specific person or topic and just runs that into the mud. Just think of like all of Akademiks' like recent enemies, and their name is just flooded throughout the page. Like LeBron James, which is crazy, Meek Mill, Lil Baby, Meg Thee Stallion. Like that page just dunks on all of those people. And not to mention, there's always a little steak ad thrown in at the bottom right corner. And it's like the page will post news about these people, but it'll be like the most biased news that you've ever seen in your life. Footage has surfaced of Meg Thee Stallion allegedly stepping on a glass bottle the night of her arrest. See, the way that they posted that, and it's like a lying by omission type of thing. Like, yes, obviously Meg Thee Stallion did step on glass that night, but she also was shot in the foot. There were bullet fragments removed from her feet. Like, that's just the truth. But when you post it like, oh, look at this video, her stepping on glass with no other context, you see what they're trying to do there. This is from when Meg filed a restraining order on Tory Lanez. Unbelievable. Meg Thee Stallion has filed a restraining order on Tory Lanez, who's already in jail. Skull emoji. What? Adam 22 cooked Meg Thee Stallion for flopping. Or even recently with the whole like DDG and Halle stuff, you know, he's like, I think he's friends with DDG or something, but either way, he's not a big fan of Halle. This post recently goes up after the new controversy. Halle goes into PR mode and plays victim after DDG exposed her from not allowing him to see his child for months. And whether you agree with DDG, Halle, Tory Lanez, Meg, whatever you fall in terms of how you believe these stories went about or who's right and who's wrong, you can just clearly tell that this is the most extremely biased reporting that you can possibly have. God forbid we ever got to tarnish your public image. Drake sending LeBron a message, and then of course they put a picture of LeBron and Diddy. In 2009, LeBron pulled up to 6 Degrees, the club where So Far Gone held its release party. Bron showed support to Drake. Drake was still new to anyone outside of Toronto. These two go back, and the betrayal from Bron hits different. Again, the same quote from the Drake freestyle, God forbid we ever got to tarnish your public image. And then it's a quote saying, damn, Drake got the LeBron Yes Jules tape. And if you don't know anything about that, there's rumors that LeBron and Yes Jules, the influencer, had some sort of fling or some sort of affair like in like 2012 or 2013 when LeBron was playing in Miami. Or when Akademiks was in that like controversy where he was speaking really inappropriately to like that 15-year-old boy from the Plaque Max online community. I think he's like a mod or something like that. And Akademiks felt slighted by Plaque Max in the situation. All of a sudden, here comes AkademiksTV to post a bunch of negative stuff about Plaque Max to try to paint him in a similar light to what people were trying to paint Akademiks in that exact situation. Hours of footage of Plaque Max grooming multiple 9-year-olds to inappropriately interact with e-girls has surfaced. Plaque Max on Discord inappropriately talking to a 14-year-old girl. Plaque Max facing backlash for asking his 11-year-old Discord moderator how he likes to clean his butt, to say the least. If Akademiks is grooming a 15-year-old here, what is Plaque Max doing? Plaque Max had actually been posted a ton of times on that account before this situation happened, and not once was it negative, and not once did this super inappropriate footage ever get surfaced. And I'm not trying to defend Max and whatever he was saying in those clips, because honestly, that's bad if he is doing those things that they describe, but I really don't care. My point is, they didn't talk about it until Akademiks and Max were on negative terms, or Akademiks was being accused by all these people of being a weirdo, and Plaque Max said he was a weirdo. Then now all of a sudden, AkademiksTV just happens to find all this footage of Max being a weirdo, when in the past, they were posting Max doing regular stuff like it was nothing and he was a great guy. But the most annoying thing that this page does, in my opinion, is pretty much single-handedly carry the Drake and Kendrick beef in 2025. Like, I feel like this page's entire purpose is to make Drake look good and Kendrick look bad. Like, if you search either of their names, you're going to find thousands of posts either hating on Kendrick Lamar or bending over to make Drake look good. Throwback to when Drake brought Kendrick and Rocky on tour before they got jealous of Drake because of his success and accolades. Stay gad. I do have to admit, though, some of these have made me laugh just because of how ridiculous they are. Like, petite man who accused Drake of being a PDF, according to XXL, has now surpassed Michael Jackson. Atlanta YN stamped Kendrick Lamar as a fake woke industry plant that pushes propaganda to make money. Rappers with the most #1 albums in Billboard history. If you removed Kendrick, he would have no impact on hip-hop history. Spotify putting this dude Kendrick under Drake playlist because his Sorry But can't get streamed without Drake. They put Poetic Justice second in Drake's playlist. Lowe's says the vertically challenged Kendrick Lamar never got checked for lying about Drake having a daughter, along with many other inconsistencies during the rap battle, and got a pass for not rebuttaling any songs with his pre-recorded diss tracks. The only true MC during the beef was Drake by rebuttaling and responding to every diss from Kendrick and not pre-recording lies about an imaginary daughter. Low-ranking member in the Kendrick Meat Writer militia, I'm Dante, says that Kendrick Lamar may have more impact when dropping music compared to Drake. He spitting facts? Jared McCain turning up to Drake's new hit Nokia, real people dancing to real music. It's funny how you never see people dancing to Kendrick music, just bot statistics. Petite rapper Kendrick Lamar somehow becomes the first rapper to hit 100 million monthly listeners. Confused emoji, bot emoji. Kendrick Lamar gets called out for his black savior gimmick by fans who now believe that he's a pawn of Lucian Grange. Kendrick is trying to paint himself as this fake, anti-industry black savior. Kendrick Lamar is a tool used by the industry because they want to take down Drake because he gained too much leverage over the labels. Nipsey Hussle and Drake before the culture murdered him in LA. Now, obviously, this is again tying into Kendrick because a lot of Drake fans have been saying, oh, the culture, you guys are so corny. So here's another shot there. And honestly, this is probably the most ridiculous, single-handedly the most ridiculous post that's come from this page. Some of you might have thought some of this stuff was funny. This one is where I'm like, all right, bro. No, like, we're just not doing this. 14-year-old Emmett Till was dragged from his house and was kidnapped, tortured, and lynched by a mob of white people after falsely being accused. Conan O'Brien today accused Drake of R-wording a minor at the Oscars, and the culture celebrated and laughed, LOL. Is this what the culture feeling? Lying on innocent black men? To compare Drake to Emmett Till is one of the nastiest things I've ever seen in my life. Now, mind you, Conan O'Brien didn't accuse Drake of being a PDF. Conan O'Brien said, he made a joke during the Oscars. He said, hey, it's halfway through the show. Now it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a PDF. He didn't say Drake was a PDF. He said, it's time for Kendrick to come out and call him one in reference to the Super Bowl halftime show. Is it a poor taste joke? Maybe. But to sit there and say that's comparable to Emmett Till being lied on and then eventually murdered brutally is nasty work. That's quite literally insane. Anybody that would legitimately post something like that is not well in the head. If you are trying to defend Drake so hard that you evoke the name of Emmett Till, I think you need to reassess what's going on in your mental. It's gotten to a point where, like, even Drake would probably see that and be like, you're doing way too much. Like, sure, I'm being accused of something I'm not, but like, come on now. Like, let's relax. We're not going to compare Drake to Emmett Till. But the way that account operates and how it just so happens to suspiciously attack all the people that Akademiks is in a quarrel with or just doesn't like, I've gotten to the point where I'm a little suspicious to where it's like, did Akademiks just create this page solely for the purpose of posting like super biased content against the people he doesn't like, but like he doesn't necessarily have to take responsibility for it? Like, does he low-key wish he could post like this extremely biased content on his main Insta account to 5 million people, but the fact that he can't do that because he would lose a lot of his credibility is why he made this account? Because even on his main Instagram page, a lot of rappers complain about him being biased against them or posting stuff that's only negative when it comes to them. So maybe this page was made because he can't do that on his main account without losing a bunch of credibility. But at this point, the page should just be rebranded into a Drake Stan account. The problem with the account isn't that it's, opinionated takes or that it's super biased. It's that it calls itself a news account and poses as a news account and has some of the credibility of a news account when really at best it's just a Stan account. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with posting opinionated content because that's what I do. This is opinionated commentary on this channel. But I don't tell you that, oh, this is the news and this is official, this is 100% the truth, and if you don't listen to what I'm saying, then you're wrong. No. This is not a news page. This is not me telling you something that is 100% true. This is my opinion. But that page poses as a news page. So if I was on YouTube and I got a whole bunch of followers and credibility reporting on the news and rap, and then all of a sudden one day I'm like, oh yeah, guys, by the way, Lil Baby's about to drop an album, but it's going to be trash anyway. It's going to be horrible. Don't listen to it. It's garbage and Gunna's way better than him. That would be kind of crazy for me to do if I was a news page because I'm supposed to be somewhat unbiased at least. Of course, everyone has their own biases, but I'm supposed to at least try to play the middle. But if I just flat out say, yeah, that album's going to be trash, don't bother listening to it, and I'm a reputable news source or I have ties to a reputable news source, people are going to look at me kind of funny. But that's just my opinion on the page. I think it's the worst one on social media right now. By far, that Emmett Till post should really take the cake. I really should just have to show you that post and that be enough for you to say, yeah, this is the worst one. And if you saw that and that didn't immediately change your mind on however you view this page, we're just never going to agree. That's just the truth. But honestly, if this video does end up blowing up, I'm sure they'll post it and be like, fake woke Kendrick activists hates on academics because his YouTube channel hasn't blown up or something like that, whatever. But you get the point. If you made it this far, I greatly, greatly appreciate you. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. It helps me out a ton. I go by the name of Pay. Peace.